It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, and I know you can hear me because I can see where you can hear me. It is the Geno Jones Show. I am Geno Jones, and I am coming to you live Monday through Friday. That's 5 days a week, unless it's a holiday, or otherwise I tell you there's some reason that it'll be the best of. So my normal days are Monday through Friday. New start time. That's a new start time, 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Shout out New York City, Philly, Boston, D.C., VA, Virginia. Shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. I see you there. Norfolk, Virginia, Hampton Roads, the whole crew, all the way down 95, MIA. Shout out to the 305, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, where that horrible incident where the young black kid was punched. You know, the police, that's a whole nother show. We just be careful, guys, because Orange Hitler has empowered and emboldened these police just to treat people, especially black and brown people, like shit. But that karma is going to come back to catch all of you all right? The energy you put out into the universe, it will find its way to you because it's your energy, and I've talked about that, but I digress. So, 6:30 Chicago, we are here from Minneapolis to Milwaukee, Chicago, Chi-Town, South Side, West Side, North Side, all over. St. Louis, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, Little Rock, Arkansas, Houston, Texas, stand up, Dallas, New Orleans, everybody Central Time, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to the Greenwood District, 6:30. 4:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles, live in Las Vegas, everybody on the West Coast from Portland, Seattle, from Sacramento to Oakland, the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland, Bay Area, San Jose, Los Angeles, the City of Angels, San Diego, Vegas, Phoenix, everybody on the West Coast. Stand up, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you're in Denver, Mountain Time, then we're coming to you at 5:30, Monday through Friday. Tell everybody you know. Call to action. Subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're like about 100 new subscribers away from becoming a YouTube partner. That means that my media company and this show will get that YouTube bag, as the kids say. So I'll get like a monthly check. My media company and the show will get a monthly income, like a monthly check from YouTube because of you and your loyalty and just your energy and excitement is spreading the word about the Geno Jones Show. Now, speaking of financial support, it is so important. We support black-owned media. It is so important that we financially support this media company, all black-owned media companies, because your financial support, your financial gifts, it is crucial to the survival. But we don't want to just survive. We want to thrive and grow. That is the goal. As a matter of fact, I would love to have you, all my business owners, as a partner. How about part of the Geno Jones Show family? Because we are a family here. Let's grow together. Let me help you grow your business as we grow together. So now, if you want to financially support the show, you can do that one time. You can make it reoccurring whenever, every month, every week, however you want to do it, every day. So you can Zelle or Cash App my media company and this show to support the show financially and make a financial contribution or gift. So you can Zelle your gift. Use my email address, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno Jones, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Or you can Cash App the show. Make sure the $, because you got to start off with that $, Dad G. Jones. Dad G. Jones. All one word. So it's capital D like Daddy, lowercase a like Apple, lowercase d like David, capital G like Geno, capital J like Jones, lowercase o like Oprah, lowercase n like Nanette, that's one of my sister's names, lowercase e like extra or electric, lowercase s like sand in an hourglass. $ Dad G. Jones. Or if you'd like to be a sponsor, I'd be honored to have you as a sponsor, one of the sponsors of this show or an advertiser, just shoot me an email, GenoJonesShow@gmail, and we'll set up a meeting in person, via Zoom, over the phone, however you want to do it. However, we'll definitely make it happen or as a brand ambassador. I'm the king, not the king, the king, brand ambassadors. All right, so let's get into the show. Oh, by the way, the show is interactive. So shout out to Rosalind. Hey, Rosalind, how are you? And I call her my co-executive producer, my number one fan, my mother, Mary Dixon. All right, mother, I know. So my mom had some eye surgery, and it's been hard to watch. So, mother, look, I appreciate your loyalty, and there's so many things about you I love, but I don't want you straining your eyes. So you can listen, but don't strain your eyes. Do not do that. She's trying to watch her son. So you can listen. I want those eyes to heal, so they'll heal quick, so you can watch the show and you can see it, because your vision is even better. So, but she's not gonna listen to me. But don't strain your eyes, mother. Please, just do that. Do that for me. So, by the way, Rosalind Anderson, Mary Dixon, my mom, they are already in my chat room. So you can join the conversation. You can start one. You can ask a question. If you want me to shout you out, or your coworkers, or your friends, or your girlfriends, or your soror sisters, or your fraternity brothers, or whatever it is, whoever it is, birthday, anniversary, got rid of that no good dude you had, got rid of that lousy no good woman you had, found a new man, whatever it is, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that. Just jump in that chat room. All right. When I'm on camera live, I have a live chat room that is open. And by the way, leave your comments in the comment section. Once again, subscribe to the channel, spread the word, tell everybody. Share the show. You can tag it, copy and paste the link, put it in the email, text message, whatever you want to do. So let's get the show started off, ladies and gentlemen. You have the power. Now, there was a song back in the 90s. It was like a big dance song by this one-hit wonder. You've heard me, if you are a regular of the show, you've heard me talk about it, by a group called Snap. You can find them. You can Google search them, or you can, the Digital Green Book, which is a black-owned AI company. So it's like the black version of ChatGPT. But anyway, you can search it. Snap. I got the power. Boom, 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 boom. I got the power. I've got the power. Yes, I got the power. You have the power. We the people, have the power. We have political power. We have economic power. As black Americans, $2 trillion with a T. We control $2 trillion in spending power. And we got the power socially. When we continue, we build our community, we come together even more. We build this community out. And it's a community that is inclusive. So it's not just black people, but you got to start at home. All right? It's the community, the people who lean into their humanity and their decency and empathy and compassion and morality. And just, they're better angels, the good side. Not leaning into the hateful, bigoted, evil, violent, sexist, misogynistic, manipulative, lying energy. We don't lean into the manipulation, the manipulative, or the lying. We don't do that. Not at all. Say it fast. Manipulative. So we don't lean into that at all. We lean into our humanity. We see our humanity in you. I see my humanity, my common humanity in you. You see your common humanity in me, because that's one thing we all share. We share a common humanity. Now, folks who weaponize something they made up called race, just like people have weaponized misogyny, sexism, homophobia, fear, because hatred and bigotry and fear and misogyny and sexism has always been, for centuries, it has been big business, and people, it's always a small handful of people that have control of the majority of the power. political power, the economic power, the social power. And they will always, like they have done, they will come up with ways to make sure they control and gain more economic, political, and social power and control. And one of the ways they did that was create this bullshit called race. This scientists, social scientists call it a construct. It was constructed. It is a con game. It is a con. That's what it is. Because it is not rooted in science. There's nothing in human biology, the human genome. There's no DNA test that will come back that will say you are 95% white or black or brown or yellow or red. It does not exist. Now, it will tell you what region of the world your ancestors are from, what country, be it Cameroon or Nigeria or Kenya or Italy or Portugal or Ireland or Great Britain or Italy or Asia or the Caucasus Mountains, which is where Caucasians came from, which is kind of almost in the Asian area. That's all different. This is not a social scientist in an anthropology class. I'm not an anthropologist, but I read. I've always read. I learn. To digress. So the point I'm trying to make is that we collectively, we have the power. And the billionaire class in the 1900s, they called them the robber barons. Just a small handful of people that have the economic, political, and social control. And not all, but the majority of many of them are selfish. And now, not just selfish, racist, sexist, and misogynist. It's not my opinion. It is the way they are behaving, especially now the ones who are in power. Oh, I know, you think Orange Hitler's in power. No, and he's finding that out. He's finding that out. Because, he threatened Rupert Murdoch, who's part of that billionaire class, who's used race for 30 years to make trillions of dollars with what he calls Fox News. I call it fake news, faux news. Fake news network, Fox News, which has always been a propaganda channel that has used racism, virulent racism, and allowed their hosts to be openly racist, bigots, sexist, misogynist, and lie and distort the truth, or flat out lie, or as my grandmother would say, stick to the lie. You are going to stick to the lie. And they have stuck to lies about black folks and brown folks, Latino, Hispanic brothers and sisters. They've stuck to the lies about white folks, Asians, for 30 years. Rupert Murdoch owns the Wall Street Journal also. Old dude, early 90s. So this dude, politically, he really made Orange Hitler, Donald Trump. Because that first election, he basically, Fox News, fake news, it was already basically Republican state TV. It became MAGA. It became MAGA Central. And all the lies and propaganda and bullshit that it broadcast, their goal was to get Trump elected. Not because he's a brilliant dude, but because they knew he was easy to manipulate. Ultra narcissistic, pathologically narcissistic, rooted in insecurity and ignorance and vanity. And they fed into all that. So these billionaires, you're from guys who own, like I said, Rupert Murdoch, who owns Fox News and Wall Street Journal, from your Jeff Bezos and guys named Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, because those guys, these Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, they started off like with PayPal. They go on and Peter Thiel, you can Google him, billionaire, Silicon Valley guy. And we all know who racist ass Elon Musk is and his ignorant ass. Take his ass back to South Africa. But it's these billionaires that actually control Orange Hitler. He's just a tool. Or as the kids say, an avatar. Avatar is like whatever image that's on like the homepage of your social media account. They call it an avatar. It's like a symbol, almost like a logo, but not a logo like a picture. That's a logo. Well, it'll be a picture. Sometimes it's animated. What's your avatar? Basically, what is the image on the homepage of your social media page? He's just, like I said, he's just a tool, a figurehead to implement what I have warned people about for over 2 going on 3 years, Project 2025, which is basically to strip away all the money that has gone to social programs like the health care for your grandmother or your parents, or the health care for your children or your niece or nephew that receive Medicaid, or your elderly parents that get Medicare, or elderly parents that use Medicaid to provide them things like a wheelchair or oxygen if they need daily oxygen, or in-home housekeeper, a healthcare housekeeper, somebody that will come over and prepare meals and clean the house for them and go with them to the doctor and pick up groceries and maybe medicine. Or maybe you have a special needs child, or child that has juvenile, any kind of condition from, it could be with juvenile diabetes, it could be a heart condition, it could be epilepsy, it could be asthma, severe asthma, whatever condition that your child needs, and you may not have the money to pay for these outrageous medical bills. 40% of the people on Medicaid are children, are young people, like under 18. Or maybe your elderly family member, or maybe you got a single parent, single mom, single dad with children, and they work, but they're not making enough money. They qualify to get SNAP benefits, that EBT card, which is like an electronic food stamp. Back in the day, they called them food stamps. Food assistance from the federal government. Or the free lunch program that maybe your children or grandchildren or niece or nephew are on. The free breakfast program, the free lunch program, money provided, federal dollars primarily. The nursing home maybe your grandparents are in, or your mother or your father's in. Like over 60%, I think it's closer to 70%, the majority of nursing homes, financially, they stay open, they survive, they are funded through Medicare. Well, all that's going out the window. And I know folks thought, oh, them lazy blacks, them lazy niggers, which is funny because, black people literally with their hands physically built everything from the White House, and our ancestors were enslaved, and they did the work for free because they were enslaved. And legally, they were considered property. But the audacity of white folks that created laws to where black people could be enslaved and required to work for free, and these lazy ass colonizers who were able to enslave our ancestors, then they got the nerve to say black folks are lazy when your ass could sit up in the damn house and reap the benefits and slip into the outhouse at night and rape our ancestors, and then have all these, beige looking, and light brown mocha color babies. And then your white wife would be upset. And in some cases, she would wind up figuring out a way to poison those babies that you fathered out of wedlock, that you fathered out of rape, because it was rape. It wasn't consent. It wasn't no consent. Our ancestors were property. So our women who were enslaved, they were considered property. They didn't have any rights. This dude figured he could do what he wanted to do. So he would rape our ancestors. Primarily women, but some men too. Sometimes the women and the men, that's a whole nother show. But now, finding out, Medicare is going to be gone, Medicaid, Obamacare, there are millions of people, poor working class white people are going to lose their health insurance. 17 million, 4 million people are going to lose their SNAP benefits. Millions of children won't be able to get the free breakfasts and the free lunches. Oh, yeah. Pell Grants. Oh, yeah, you got poor working class white kids that depend on Pell Grants, too. It's not just black folks. But here we are. But the people who have gotten rid of your benefits, that's taken away your health care and your food assistance and your rental assistance, housing vouchers and all that, and the food assistance and the health care for your children and grandchildren. Those same people who told you that black folks are no good and the Mexicans were lazy and criminals, those same people. They told you that bullshit and they lied to you and they weaponized race, bigotry, fear, ignorance, misogyny, and sexism, because a woman could never be president. And that black woman could never be president because she ain't really black, or she ain't black enough, or she married to a white dude. And even some black folks, you bought into the bullshit. Now, 92% of black women, 80% of black men didn't buy into the bullshit. Black Americans voted for humanity and decency and a democracy and fairness for everybody. But a significant number, the majority of Hispanic men, I'm calling you all out. You voted for this shit. Now you're like, oh shit, I saw a video. Hispanic guy, well, I just thought black folks were kind of making it up. I didn't know about being racially profiled until now. He's like, I'm sorry, because now they are racially profiling me. And I don't know, do I need to have papers when I walk down the street? See, it was different. It was when it was something, you just thought it was them N-words. But now it's you. Now you realize that your ass, Latino brother and sister, Mexican, Honduras, Venezuelan, Cuban, wherever, you realize you were N-word too. They looked at you the same way. And I've been saying that on the show for 4.5 years. But now you effed around, as they say, fuck around and find out. But now to my poor working class white folks, MAGA cult members, they've come for you because they've come for all of your social programs that you depend on to survive. Medicaid or Medicare, and Medicaid is going to get cut. Eventually come for Social Security, SNAP benefits, free breakfast, free lunch, Obamacare, 17 million people, a lot of white folks. 4 million people losing SNAP benefits. That's a lot of families. It's going to be a lot of poor and working class white folks that's going to be hungry, and these food pantries don't have enough money. So it ain't going to be just the black folks, it's going to be your ass too. Just sitting there watching, mad, probably cursing at the TV or the tablet or your phone with that red hat on. They don't give a shit about you. These billionaires don't give a shit about you. They talk down upon you. They think, these white billionaires that's part of this MAGA cult, they think less of poor working class, especially poor white people. They think less of you than they do of black people. Because their attitude is like, if you are white, especially a white man, and you're not a billionaire, then there must be something wrong with you, because this whole system was designed and rigged for you to benefit. How do I know this? Because I've had white men to tell me that, or to say that with me around, in company. Orange Hitler himself called men who served, disrespected John McCain a true war hero who didn't bitch out and talk about, I got bone spurs, like Orange Hitler did, who was a prisoner of war, whose politics, 90% of his politics, 95, I didn't agree with, but I respected the kind of man he was, because when it was time for him to call out bullshit, when he was running against President Obama, and there's a white woman would say, he's a Muslim, and John McCain literally took the mic. He said, no ma'am, no, he's not a Muslim. There's nothing wrong with being a Muslim. That's a whole nother conversation. He's not, he's an American, he's a citizen. We just don't agree politically. What politician part of the MAGA cult would do that now? None of them bastards. None of them. So I say all that to say, yes, MAGA cult, you got to understand. See, you thought you had the power, but the power that you were lining up with and aligning with, they used fear and bigotry and racism and all the border, and there's an invasion on the border, which was bullshit. And all these folks coming across the border, they're raping your women, and they're criminals, and they're carrying drugs. You know, there's no group of people to use drugs more than white people in America. Now, y'all may not know that, but you can Google that. You can chat GPT. You can digital green book. You use what Gemini, whatever AI, you can find that. But they used racism and misogyny and sexism, worrying about, trans women competing against girls. Over 500,000 Division I college athletes, the last calendar year, full year, over 500,000 young men, young women competed in Division I. We're not even talking about the smaller colleges, college athletics. You know how many trans athletes they had? Out of 500,000 plus, over 500,000 collegiate athletes competed. You had less than 10 trans athletes. I watched the WNBA All-Star game. I hadn't seen, there's not even a trans woman in the WNBA. Not one. I didn't see any trans woman last summer be Sha'Carri Richardson or them Jamaican sisters. I think what was it, one trans woman may have won a swimming? I can't think of the decorated white woman that's been winning so many medals as a swimmer. Her name will come to me. Maybe you know her name and you'll type it in my chat room. I ain't seen no trans woman beating her. I don't see no trans woman beating Asia Wilson in the WNBA or Angel Reese or Naphesia Collier up in Minneapolis. Or your girl, y'all, white savior Caitlin Clark. I don't see no trans woman beating her. Or Breonna Stewart. This is a whole nother thing because, they kind of cherry pick the white athlete that they want to celebrate. That's a whole nother conversation. But there's funny. Like the best white player in the WNBA is not Caitlin Clark. Hello, Breonna Stewart. I could make an argument, one of Breonna's teammates, young woman whose idol was Kobe Bryant, Sabrina Ionescu. They played with the New York Liberty. Caitlin Clark's not better than those two, definitely, because Asia Wilson, that plays for Las Vegas, who's from South Carolina, stand up. Asia Wilson is the best women's basketball player on the planet right now. Don't bother. Don't even bother. Save it. Save it for yourself. Argue among yourselves or debate yourself. Because anybody that knows about basketball, and if you know anything about the WNBA, everybody knows that the best woman basketball player on the planet is Asia Wilson. Full stop. I digress. So let me go all the way back to where I started off about how we have the power. By the way, I want to address the culture, the community. Hello, Black America. And this is not even a constructive criticism out of love. This is a teachable moment to reinforce the point that I'm trying to make about how you and we together have the power, regardless of this MAGA cult. Yes, 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. 80%, roughly, 80. I've seen 80, 82, some 78, whatever. So you can round it. 8 out of 10 black men, 9 out of 10 black women did not vote for this bullshit and this dictatorship that we are living in and under here in America right now. But now, here's the teachable moment to Black America. You know why I said we have the power? Because guess what? Even though 92% of black women and 80% of black men voted against Orange Hitler, 40%, 40, not 4, 40% of eligible black voters nationwide, all across America, didn't vote. 40% of the eligible black who were eligible to vote, black voters, 40% all across America didn't vote. Georgia had 1,016,000 eligible black people that didn't vote at all last November. Orange Hitler only won that state by 115,000 votes, roughly somewhere around in there, in that range. Think about it. 1 million plus black people didn't even vote, and Orange Hitler only won Georgia by 100, roughly somewhere in the 100 to 110, 115. Just, you can round it off. It's right around that number, 113, 115. North Carolina, 661,000 eligible black voters, 661,000 black people who were eligible to vote in North Carolina didn't vote. Orange Hitler only won that state, what, about 180 plus thousand? 661. Hell, if half of that number would have showed up, half of that 661,000, 330,000, 230,000 could have showed up. 200,000, 150,000 of that 661,000 pot eligible black voters. 150,000 of that 661,000 black people who didn't bother to vote in North Carolina had 150,000. If 120,000 had 120,000 of those eligible black voters out of that 661,000 black voters who didn't vote in North Carolina, had they shown up, Kamala Harris would have won North Carolina. I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to keep beating this drum, because I know there are a lot of people, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of despair, there's a lot of disappointment, disillusionment, depression. What do we do? Finger pointing. And I'm not giving those numbers to point my finger. I'm not pointing my finger. But what I am using, what I am doing with my finger, I am pointing out that we alone, as black people, we have got the power if we continue to come together as an even larger community, because the majority of us have come together. Black America voted for everybody to have freedoms and rights. Black America did not vote for people losing their health insurance and their food assistance and their SNAP benefits and their free breakfasts and free lunches. Didn't vote for children to lose health insurance. It didn't vote for children to be snatched off the street, literally kidnapped. It didn't vote for ICE agents to show up at a baseball field to where you had children and teenagers practicing, a baseball team practicing, a little league team practicing, and ICE agents with their punk ass, with their face covered, threatening to snatch kids playing baseball in New York City, or chasing people through strawberry fields in California. No. Black folks did not do this. And the majority of Latino, Hispanic women did not vote for this, even though a lot of them did, but the majority of them did not. You know who voted for this? The majority of Hispanic men, but white men overwhelmingly voted for this. And 53% of white women voted against their own reproductive freedom. Again, for a third time, the third time that women voted for this Orange Hitler, after hearing him say multiple times on video, you can grab women by the, rhymes with Tussie, but take off the T and put a P there. You know what he said, you heard it. You can grab them by the, basically their vagina, but the more street vulgar term. And white women heard that. They heard it 2016, and they voted for him in 2016. 50 plus, 53%, 54 voted for him again, voted for that. In 2020, 53% of white women voted for the man to say you can sexually assault a woman, bragged about it, grabbed him by the pussy in 2024. And 70%, now here's a kicker. These white evangelicals, these fake Christians who read and worship this racist remix version of this Bible that they think, oh, it's the Word of God. No, it is a book that was written by men, the Council of Nicaea. Yeah, ChatGPT, Google that. The Council of Nicaea. Yeah, that Bible you're reading, yeah, it was a council. They got together and decided what was going to be in this King James Version in America, that same Bible that they gave to slaves, that told slaves that slaves should honor their master. Oh, yeah. These same white evangelicals with this remixed racist version that's used, that is weaponized Christianity to empower and support racism and sexism and homophobia and all that. You can get mad at me all you want to. Because the proof is in the pudding, it's in history. Who is supposed to be so, I have Christian values. Which version of Christianity? This white racist, white nationalist, remixed version and definition of Christian? Not the version of Christianity that originated, because Christianity originated on the continent of Africa. Google Coptic, C-O-P-T-I-C, Coptic Christians, Coptic Christianity. It's the origin of Christianity. And where did the origin story start? Did it start in Europe? In England or in Ireland or Italy, because you got the Catholic Church and the Vatican? No. The original form of Christianity didn't start in Rome. Didn't start in London or England or nowhere in Europe. It originated, the original version of Christianity originated on the continent of Africa in Ethiopia. So here we are. Yes, MAGA cult, you are in it too. And now your boys lied to you. And now all of a sudden today we hear that Orange Hitler was told by his attorney general, Pam Bondi, and some other folks, your name is in the Epstein files. Now, he bragged about Orange Hitler. When I'm elected, I'm going to release the Epstein files. Jeffrey Epstein was a noted pedophile, convicted pedophile for years. Had this place called Epstein Island, just off the Virgin Islands, a little small island just off the Virgin Islands, where they were kidnapping teenagers, middle school and high school girls. Recruiting. Had a woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years in prison right now, who now the House of Representatives, they are they've sent out a subpoena. They are subpoenaing Miss Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the recruiter for Mr. Jeffrey Epstein. She recruited these young girls. So Jeffrey Epstein and all his rich millionaire, billionaire buddies, politicians, entertainers, powerful men, where they could engage having sex, raping underage girls. Now you had Ghislaine Maxwell. She was the recruiter. Literally. You had a young white woman who's, she was 14. She talked about how she was raped by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell on multiple occasions. Unfortunately, I think earlier this year, or was it sometime last year? Maybe sometime last year, the same woman, she committed suicide. So now, if Mr. Orange Hitler's Attorney General, Miss Pam Bondi, Miss Pam Bad, botched, bleach, blonde job, Bondi, the Wall Street Journal, let's go back to the Wall Street Journal, and the man who really helped make Orange Hitler's political career, Rupert Murdoch, who owns the Wall Street Journal and Fox News, who Orange Hitler is suing now. And Rupert Murdoch is like, okay, I'm gonna show you who's really in control. So now, like every week, the Wall Street Journal, last week they talked about, they did a story about, which is why Orange Hitler sued him. There was this letter that Donald Trump wrote. It was a letter in this book, I guess, where you had all these people back in 2003 wishing Jeffrey Epstein happy birthday. And according to the Wall Street Journal, Trump drew a picture of like a woman, and you could see her breast, he had like the little humps for the woman's breast. And the area where her like pubic hair, vagina would be, he signed his name, Donald Trump. And he said, happy birthday, and may all your days be, I'm paraphrasing, full of like wonderful secrets. Really, the man, the accused pedophile, found guilty of raping multiple middle school and high school girls, kidnapping these young girls and bringing them on an island so all of his rich buddies could have sex with him, along with his recruiter girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's in prison now, who the House of Representatives are going to subpoena because they want to talk to her under oath. She better be very careful. But that's a whole nother conversation. See, Rupert Murdoch is like, okay, you F around to find out if you want to. And Orange Hitler is panicking because he don't know what. And there's a rat. Oh, there's a rat somewhere in the White House. I guarantee you. And Rupert Murdoch's got enough money, he can pay somebody that's even close to Orange Hitler, Donald Trump. Because Trump is just a figurehead. Please understand that. But even with that, and even with the billionaires, one thing with all their billions and trillions of dollars, they don't have the power of the people. We have that power. And the only thing we have to do is bring it together and step into that power. Yes, including some of these MAGA cult members that's coming out of this trance, that have been brainwashed, and all of a sudden are beginning to say, wait a minute, hold on, because you said the deep state, and you thought it was the Democrats. Hillary Clinton was eating children. Supposedly it was a pizza place in Washington, D.C. And yeah, they said that Bill Clinton's name was in the Epstein files. But the first name people mentioned who were interviewed about Mr. Jeffrey Epstein was Donald Trump. There's no person on the planet, there's no person in more videos and pictures that are public with Jeffrey Epstein and young women than Donald Trump. Donald Trump himself is on record saying, oh, Jeffrey Epstein and I were friends for 15 years. He's a great guy, and he likes women, some on the younger side. That is a quote from Orange Hitler himself. Jeffrey Epstein is on record saying that Donald Trump and I were best friends for 10 years. Best friends of a pedophile who was convicted of child rape. And you wonder why he's freaking out about the Epstein files. And so, oh, Barack Obama engaged in treason and just lying, straight bullshit, anything. Oh, let's release the Dr. King files. But even many of his cult members, like that crazy ass, racist ass Marjorie Taylor Greene, is like, now wait a minute, hold on, Donald. Now, when we want this transparency, and you promised that you were going to release the Epstein files because we wanted to see all these Democrats, and we want to know all these dirty Democrats, pedophiles, and is Hillary Clinton, and was she eating children, and was she raping? Yeah, the Democrats, and You know whose name nobody's talked about? His name's never come up anywhere with Jeffrey Epstein. It's Barack Obama. So Orange Hitler can try to distract you, but keep in mind, in the meantime, understand that right after the midterm, you're going to lose your health insurance, or your mom or your dad or your grandparents are going to lose their health insurance, or your child's going to lose their health insurance through Medicaid. And by the way, the food assistance, that EBT card that you get, you're going to lose your SNAP benefits, that electronic food stamp card. And you're going to lose your health care if you got Obamacare. And your children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews, they get the federal dollars that pay for the free breakfast program and the free lunch. Oh, by the way, and the after-school care is called different things in different cities. Federal money, part of Medicaid, that will pay for people who can't afford to pay for private daycare, which is like a mortgage now. All that's going to be gone. Pell Grants, they're already gone. So that's what you need to stay focused on, and remember that we can not just reverse it, we gotta redo it. We gotta like totally remix it and make it better. Because we can't restore, because you can't restore what you had, because what you had got you here. It got us Orange Hitler. So we've got to remix this thing completely. But now you see that these billionaires don't give a shit about nobody. Because these billionaires, these MAGA billionaires, all this MAGA is rooted in fear and power. Millions of white people, remember, whiteness is a made-up con game, because there's no such thing in biology. There's no such thing in the human genome or human genealogy. Whiteness is not rooted in science, but it was made up in the 1680s. It was constructed, built. It was a con to pit a group of people, Europeans, against other people, people from the continent of Africa or India or Asia, to pit them against each other, to make them fear each other and hate each other and think they are better than each other. So these few people at the top with all the money and the power, the social, economic, and political power, could continue to control and make money off of the people they have pitted against each other. The billionaires today, who are the robber barons and the people who controlled all the wealth and power from the 1600s, before that on, they weaponized racism, fear, bigotry, hatred, misogyny, sexism in all of its forms, so they could get rich, continue to get even richer. So wake up. Why do you think they try to turn the word woke into like, oh, that's, you don't want to be woke? They know, right? They don't want you to be woke. They don't want you to wake up. So they can still dig, so they can keep digging in your pockets and taking away all the money that funds all those social programs that I talked about, to take care of you, your family, your grandparents, your elderly parents, to give you health care and all kind of assistance, food assistance, and assistance and money for education and housing vouchers and all of that. Protect clean air, everything to make sure your food doesn't have poison in it. They don't give a shit. They want to give that money to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and billionaires. And Elon Musk is already getting $8 million a day in taxpayer money. With the government contracts, his companies like Starlink, with them rockets that now can't even get off the launching pad. Rockets just blowing up on the dam, exploding on the launching pad. They at least would get up in the air before they would explode. Now they can't even get off the ground. These rockets, Starlink, they blowing up on the launching pad. And Tesla, they need Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and these billionaires. They need more money. And they don't give a shit about you, MAGA poor, working class white folks, veterans, all you older white men that sit around and watch Fox News with your MAGA hat on and saying ignorant shit, and the people that you worship, they look down at you like you are a piece of shit, like a peasant. They talk about you worse than they do black people because they call you stupid. Donald Trump said it publicly decades ago that if he was going to run for president, he would run to be a Republican because he said, and you can Google it yourself, Republicans are stupid. He said it, and you voted for him because you got brainwashed and they weaponized your ignorance and your racism and your misogyny and sexism and homophobia. And he took all your money. Wake up. It's the billionaires versus humanity. I think everybody should be on the side of humanity. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, or New Start Time, 6:30 p.m. Central, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe. That's my call to action. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need about 100 new subscribers for my company, my media company, and this show will become a YouTube partner. What does that mean? YouTube partner means that every month my media company will get a check from YouTube because of you. One of the fastest growing shows on YouTube is because of you. The viewership has just grown. Thank you so much. So spread the word. We're so close. Man, my company, really, my media company can use that money so it can not just thrive, but survive and grow. And you can help the show grow also. Your financial support, your financial gift is really needed. I'm thanking you in advance, those who have supported the show. I would love to have you as a sponsor. Love for you to advertise, be a part of the Geno Jones Show family. I'd love to be your brand ambassador or your pitch man, because when it comes to being a brand ambassador or your pitch man, I am the king of brand ambassadors and pitch men. No donation is too small or too large. You can support the show right now via Zelle. Use my email address, Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell Geno Jones, no the, Geno Jones Show, Gmail. So you can Zelle your contribution that way, or you can support the show financially. You can use Cash App, $first, $Dad G Jones. All one word, $Dad G Jones. Capital D, lowercase a, lowercase d, like David, capital G, capital J, lowercase o, like Oprah, lowercase n, like Nanette, lowercase e, like extra, lowercase s, like Sam. $Dad G Jones. Hit up that Zelle for me, hit up that Cash App, spread the word, jump on social media, post something, post a video, or just put out a post. We got to help Geno, the Geno Jones Show, Geno Media, his media company is growing, guys. We need some more subscribers, 100 new subscribers plus, and this media company will start being supported. We'll get economic support from YouTube because of you. So thank you in advance. All right, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. CEO of Designer Cuts. Check him out on Instagram, on IG, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. LX.N like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi _ LX.NCL _ is that little dash after the last L. Man, I love you. Absolutely, positively, unconditionally love you. And you and me live Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Until then, be blessed. And if you missed any of this episode, go back, watch it. As a matter of fact, binge watch all my shows from this week. The monologues have been fire. as always. Shout out to my man Stephen Colbert from the Late Show, starring Stephen Colbert, late night talk show host, CBS and Paramount punked out, basically bent over, let Donald Trump just, jam him. I'm going to talk about that definitely some tomorrow and Friday too. Probably more Friday, but shout out to Stephen Colbert. Mr. Colbert, I'd love to have you as a guest on the show, so I got to figure out a way to reach out to you. I'll figure it out. I'll find you one way or another. All right, guys. Oh, if you know Stephen Colbert, somebody screen grab this. Screen grab this video. Send it to Mr. Stephen Colbert. I got to reach out to him. Follow him on social media. Thanks, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.